Today we have the Hindu newspaper's 18th March editorial article. The article is House Matters. The government should not avoid a debate on issues of governance. So before we start analysis of this article, I would like to request all of you who are watching my videos, if you like my videos, please do subscribe my channel. Please share my videos and hit the like button. It means a lot to me and it will motivate me to create more such videos in coming days. So on that note, let's start analyzing today's editorial. Okay. The second leg of the budget session of Parliament is in a deadlock. The ruling Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) wants Congress leader Rahul Gandhi to apologize for remarks that he made in London recently about democratic backsliding in India. So what happened? Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is a MP from Wayanad constituency of Kerala, recently delivered a lecture in Cambridge University, London, as a visiting fellow. In his lecture, Mr. Gandhi staunchly criticized the incumbent Modi government, alleging that India's democracy is under grave threat under the policies of his government. His sharp remarks on Narendra Modi fumed the BJP leaders, which resulted disruption of budget session of the parliament. So that is why the chaos, all of this chaos that is going on in the current session of the parliament. Okay. So here we should take a look at the different sessions of parliament. There are 3 sessions in parliament. Number 1 is budget session. This session starts in February and it goes on till late April or May. The second one is monsoon session. You know, monsoon means raining season. So monsoon session starts in the rainy season. It starts in July and it ends in September. And the third one is winter session. So this winter session, it runs during the winter months of India. It starts in November and it ends in December. Okay. The Congress is insisting on the constitution of a Joint Parliamentary Committee (JPC) to probe allegations of dubious financial transactions and dishonest business practices against the Adani group of companies. So, on one hand, the BJP MPs are demanding suspension of Rahul Gandhi from parliament. Why they are demanding this suspension? Because of the comments Rahul Gandhi passed in his speech which he gave in the Cambridge University. And on the other hand, the Congress MPs and few other opposition parties are demanding Joint Parliamentary Committee or JPC on the Hindenburg Adani row, which has already tumbled Adani Group's share price by almost 50% since last week of January. So before proceeding any further, let's know a few points about this JPC first.
So what is a JPC or Joint Parliamentary Committee? A Joint Parliamentary Committee is set up to examine a particular bill presented before the Parliament or for the purpose of investigating cases of financial irregularities in any government activity. The JPC is an ad hoc body. So ad hoc body means it is formed on temporary basis. It is not a permanent formation. Okay, JPC is not a permanent body. It is a temporary body. Then it is set up for a given period of time and is aimed at addressing a specific issue. So this JPC has to work within a given period of time and they are formed only to address a very specific issue. Okay, they do not work on generalized issues. They are formed only to address a specific issue. Number 3 is composition. In order to set a JPC, a motion is passed in one house and supported by the other house. So you know that Parliament has two houses. One is lower house, another one is upper house. Lower house is Lok Sabha and upper house is Rajya Sabha. So to form one JPC, a motion has to be passed in either of these houses. If the motion is initiated from Lok Sabha, then it has to be supported by Rajya Sabha. Or otherwise, if the JPC motion is passed in Rajya Sabha, then it has to be supported by Lok Sabha, and only then the formation will be complete. Okay. The committee members are decided by Parliament. The number of members can vary. There are twice as many Lok Sabha members as the Rajya Sabha. So that means if a JPC consists 15 members from Parliament, then out of that 15, 10 will be from Lok Sabha and 5 will be from Rajya Sabha, because the strength of Lok Sabha members has to be double of the Rajya Sabha members. Similarly, if total number of members in a JPC is 12, then 8 will be from Lok Sabha and 4 will be from Rajya Sabha. I hope you get the calculation. Fourth one, India's first JPC was formed on Bofors scandal. You know, this scandal took place when Rajiv Gandhi was in power. Okay, so India's first JPC was formed on Bofors scandal. Okay, and fifth point is JPC was also formed on Harshad Mehta scam and Ketan Parekh scam in stock market. So now I hope if basic questions come from this Joint Parliamentary Committee or JPC, then you will be able to answer those questions. Okay. Okay, now let's go back to our main editorial.
Available evidence suggests that Mr. Gandhi had categorically stated that the challenges to Indian democracy had to be sorted out domestically and ruled out any role for foreign forces. So, Rahul Gandhi's speech in Cambridge cannot be termed as derogatory to the nationalist idealism from any angle. He has also asserted it very clearly that the challenges which Indian democracy is facing, according to him, those challenges can be overcome only domestically and not by any foreign intervention. Okay? But even after such clarification, BJP has managed to create enough ruckus in parliament over Mr. Gandhi's speech. BJP has attacked Mr. Rahul Gandhi, alleging that his comments in the speech were intended to provoke foreign powers to criticize the Modi government. And with that, BJP is trying to validate a political rhetoric that criticizing the government is no less than insulting the nation itself. With the Indian diaspora expanding, the ripple effects of politics in India are inevitable beyond the country's geographical boundaries. Now that the Indians have settled in almost every corner of the globe, so any domestic political issue easily transcends the geographical boundary of India and grabs a lot of attention from the Indian diaspora settled in other nations also. The BJP has for long believed in cultural nationalism, which is not contained within the geography of India. Mr. Modi has discussed national politics before audiences around the world. So BJP knows it very well how to build a support base in this Indian diaspora people who are settled in other nations of the world. So how they do it? They do it by banking on the cultural nationalism. India's history, India's culture, India's customaries, all these are hailed, promoted, and very efficiently marketed by BJP, and not only to the domestic audience but also in every international stage, which has boosted the sense of national pride in all these Indian diaspora people. The demigod like stature of Modi in current Indian politics can be compared only with Indira Gandhi in her peak. Moreover, his global recognition from other countries, including the most powerful ones, have created a massive fan base in Indian communities settled in foreign countries. Anticipating all these factors, BJP has launched sharp attack on Mr. Rahul Gandhi for his speech since last few days. A democracy that does not allow criticism, including of democracy itself, is a contradiction in terms. Mr. Gandhi has not been able to speak in parliament and explain his remarks. Meanwhile, a BJP member has initiated a process to terminate Mr. Gandhi's Lok Sabha membership. It is an ill advised move, and if carried out, it will further amplify the fears of a democratic deficit in India. So, it can be said that if a democratic country does not allow any criticism, even on its democratic values, then it is itself a contradiction to its basic structure. Just because Rahul Gandhi criticized the Modi regime in an international forum, it does not mean that Mr. Gandhi had any intent to malign India's image in international stage. So if the BJP ultimately succeeds in getting him terminated from parliament, then that will just prove the authenticity of Mr. Gandhi's speech in Cambridge. Next, in their clamor for an apology by Mr. Gandhi, BJP ministers are also evading questions regarding government patronage of the Adani Group. The US short seller company Hindenburg. This company Hindenburg published a report in January 2023, and in this report they made allegation of gross accounting fraud and malpractices in Adani Group companies. This report caused a free fall in share price of Adani companies and almost halved the share values since January. Mr. Gautam Adani, who is the chairperson of Adani Group, he hails from Gujarat and he is known to have a very close relationship with PM Modi. Now, Congress and other opposition parties are targeting BJP over the meteoric rise of Mr. Gautam Adani's net worth since 2014, when Mr. Modi came to power. Mr. Adani, who was in 609th place in Forbes' richest man ranking in 2014, rose to become second richest person in the world in September 2022. Now, the Congress has been seeking answers from the government on the links between the Public Sector Life Insurance Corporation of India and the State Bank of India with the Adani Group. The BJP and the government have been silent on this serious issue of governance that spans the government and the public and private sectors. Arbitrariness in decision making, followed by a lack of accountability, amounts to governance failure, if not collusion. In last few years, government has handed over multiple ports, airports to Adani Group. Currently, Adani operates 7 large metro city airports in India. It has been also alleged by the opposition that Adani own multiple international contracts from nations like Sri Lanka, Israel, shortly after Mr. Modi's visit to those countries. So such allegations need to be verified by the regulatory bodies, parliamentary committees, and other watchdogs to sniff out whether any malpractice, corruption, undue waiver, or recommendation was taking place in Adani related decisions and transactions. The government, the Rajya Sabha chairman, and the Lok Sabha speaker should work with the opposition for a discussion on the issues arising out of the Adani controversy. Coming clean is essential in maintaining the government's credibility, the regulatory environment, and the private sector. Both houses of parliament, the lower house, that is Lok Sabha, and the upper house, that is Rajya Sabha, both of these houses has to show maturity in such investigation. Throwing mud at each other in the parliament and creating chaos and blocking proceedings of the house is not a sign of responsible legislature from any angle. In terms of numerical strength, BJP government has enough members in both houses of parliament to ignore the opposition's voice. But such reckless attitude, backed by a strong feeling of invincibility, is not a sign of upholding democratic values. The Adani issue has raised a substantial question on the governance of our nation, in which the union government, state governments, regulatory bodies, public and private banks, insurance companies, credit rating agencies, and a large number of common people who invested in Adani stocks, all of them plays a part. The issue is not something which is just confined in our geographical boundaries. It has a far greater implication and concern for Indian economy and our government's credibility in international level. Next, there have been precedents of a JPC in cases of financial scandals. I already told you that earlier also JPC was formed in Harshad Mehta stock market scam and Ketan Parekh stock market scam. Okay. Next, the BJP has the numbers to get away with any disregard for parliamentary norms, but it should rise above that temptation and evolve as a true party of governance. Parliament has a role to play in fixing accountability, and the BJP should not avoid it and betray a new level of executive impunity. So, at last, the editor is saying that to fix this mess, it is the responsibility of the parliament to do whatever necessary to bring transparency and accountability in the governance structure. Only a strong majority in the parliament cannot provide immunity to the ruling party from questions that have serious implication in India's financial health. So, BJP, being the ruling party, it should rise above the political catfight and ensure that democratic values of our great nation stays intact. So this is it. If you like my videos, then I'm again requesting you, please subscribe my channel, share my videos with your friends, hit like button. It will motivate me a lot to make more such videos in coming days. Thank you all. Goodbye.